It's early morning. I'm having to squeeze these videos in around a freelance project, which is fantastic news, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. And luckily enough, I've got a system in here on my computer in Notion that's helping me do it. And I want to talk to you about that today. How to achieve happy, productive creativity. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I think as creative people, well, I certainly find this, I face two extreme problems. One, I'm either completely stuck. I face a blank page, I am paralysed and can't quite find what the idea is I want to create to generate something, or I'm overwhelmed with possibilities. I've got loads and loads of inspiration and I'm really finding it hard to hone that into a clear, distinct, creative idea to then realise. What's the solution? It's based on a way of thinking. I work with a playwright who has a 3-stage process. I've applied that into this Notion system, and today I want to share with you this productive creativity dashboard. It's how I create these videos from initial open thinking right through to this final version. Come and have a look. If you've not been here before, my name's Simon and this is called Better Creating because, well, I'm trying to simplify creative life. I'm trying to help you and I create more meaningful work, whatever it is that we are creating, whilst we live hopefully more intentional, stress-free lives in the process. If you've not subscribed, please absolutely hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to stay connected. It's free, it means my videos pop up in your feed, and I really appreciate it because it helps grow this channel and keep us connected. So let's get into it. I want to give you a tour of the system. I want to talk you through the thinking, and I want to maybe just show you how you might be able to apply this into your own creative life. I think this applies to any creative project, and I think that this Notion dashboard that I want to share with you today, I'd really hope that you can take the ideas behind it and the inspiration from it to create your own for whatever your creative projects are. And it gives me a space to collect my initial ideas, make a big mess, and then kind of start to select them, find the ideas that have promise, and then a system that literally kind of guides me through the articulation of those ideas, that builds that idea up right from the scripting of it and the thinking to a shot list all the way through to the final production of it. Classically, this morning I've run out of time, so I've got to now go to rehearsals. So I'll see you in about 2 seconds, but it might be the evening. Right, evening, dinner, onward. Before we jump into this iPad and look at my Notion system, the first thing I want to do is talk to you about the principles that govern how to build this. Without those, it doesn't really work. It's all very well building a system, but we need to have a clear guiding set of thinking to make something happen. The playwright Simon Stevens has this really fantastic idea of how he writes his plays, breaking his process down naturally into 3 stages. The first one is called generating, just about pages. He will write 50 things about a person that he's seen in the street, or people do kind of morning pages, just writing thoughts. I think finding ways to journal or to have a space where you can just collect your thoughts and collect your thinking without it necessarily having any purpose or direction is incredibly valuable as a creative person. The second stage is to select. So once you've made a big mess, basically, the idea is then that we start to sift back through it and go, that's interesting, that's valuable. It might send you off on new lines of flights, to different ideas, but also what it's going to do is allow us to find value in what the mess we've been making and say, there's an idea. The final stage of it is to articulate, to form it into something finalised that you can realise with clarity and the minimal amount of effort. And so I've thought about how I can put a kind of spaces for that within my kind of video creating dashboards. Let's dive into Notion and see how that playwriting process can inform our Notion database. If you've seen the other videos on my Notion system, you will recognise this home screen, and I talk loads more about how it works, the task management system, project management system, my bibliography of inspiration here, where I kind of collect inspiration and ideas, which links into this system. So check that out if you haven't. Otherwise, what we're going to do is go into this section here, Better Creating Dashboard. I've created this to be able to create these YouTube videos, but I think you could apply this to loads of different outcomes. I should first of all say, before I go any further, this project database is inspired by Thomas Frank's brilliant system. He's actually got a Notion template that I've kind of adapted, worked from, remade into something that works for me. And that's the great thing about the Notion platform. There are other creators out there making systems and templates that you can then adapt and rework or take inspiration from. So hopefully I can do the same for you here. Now you'll see the first page here, it's got the live videos, the ones I'm currently working on at the moment, 13, 14, 15, a set of videos that I'm planning to create that I've selected from a wider set of generated ideas, and then I've got the published ones. I've made 12 so far on this channel, so this is the 13th. To the right, you also see I've got a task inbox, which is programmed as part of my task management system. If I have an idea that I need to work on, I can pop it in there, and it's programmed so that it will link into the rest of my task management system, but also be labeled as a better creating task. If we go to here, you'll see a project database. This is all of the videos that I have so far created, basically all the videos that are in there. Now, you'll notice with this that these are all numbered 99, 999, the top ones. And there's a really good reason for that, and I'll get into that in a little moment. Here are 3 areas within my Notion system that I capture and think about generating ideas. The first one is in the Better Creating dashboard under potential videos. And what I do here is basically, the first thing I did was actually, I went, right, let me try and generate 100 ideas, 100 titles for videos. So it's not so much coming up with a rounded, finished thing, it's a building block. Yeah, I'm not trying to do the whole thing at once. So I just wrote titles. Some are awful, some like really bad, and some are really lovely. So, I mean, what's great about it is once you've written them all, you've got a much better idea of possibilities and directions. You're not starting from scratch, but also like, you know, it's inspiration. When you come back to it later, it might not be perfect, but it's a place to go, actually, that's what I want to make right now. So I haven't looked at this first list. There's 29 on the Better Creating list. 3 lessons about storytelling to instantly improve your content. Okay? Spinning a creative web, content form process. And then there's bits in here where you just go, creators, understand the characters in your story. It's not bad. I don't know. Hey, look, if you spot any of these you really want to see, comment below. Let me know what out of this you'd really like to see me make. And so you can see there's a big old list, happiness and life. And then there's loads more down here. There's like top 5 things. Anyway, tons of ideas. The point is, it's a place to generate, make a mess, not have to make any of it if I don't want to. Let's take a moment to remember Notion is not always the only answer. I'm obsessed with using GoodNotes. It's a notepad essentially. It's a place where I can create, doodle, make a mess as we're talking about. This is, for example, early designs for the Better Creating website. I can explore things, cut them, move them, even copy them into Notion if I want to. And in order to do that, what I'll tend to do is use a split screen on my iPad, pop Notion up, and then I can start transferring across ideas that I want to use at a later point. The next place I've been playing with generating ideas is, I'm having a go at this at the moment. It's called a Think-bank. And what I'm doing is just kind of taking quotes that I get excited. I've called them single notions that resonate, quotes, ideas and perspectives. So it's just, if something comes up, I'm going to drop it in there, and maybe that will be the inspiration to create a project or do something from it. That's my Think-bank. You'll notice it's on my main home screen, away from the Better Creating thing. I find that useful. I've also got a kind of copy, a link, so you can easily just link a copy of a page. So I've got my potential video ideas on my main home screen so I can more easily access it. And finally, I've talked about it in the other video. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. The bibliography of inspiration. This is stuff that I'm watching and reading and listening to that I get excited about. I put it into the bibliography of inspiration. I'm generating a research base, a knowledge base. If you didn't see this, do check it out. How to make it, I'll literally take you through it in that video. But you'll see it's linked. The database is linked to my video project. So that means that you can see videos that I've linked this research to. So that's generating. Let's now go into selecting. This is all about editing, yeah, and starting to realize stuff. Let's have a little look at this list. What have we got here? What constitutes making meaningful work at the moment? I'm going to use that. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make that video. I'm going to select it and start to draw things together. I'm going to copy it. That's what I do. I go up to the bit above, which is next up list, yeah, and I'm going to add it to it. So I'm going to click on to here, onto the template, new video. You see I've created a video template. I create that and you'll see it will populate it, and there it all is. This comes into both selecting but also very much articulating the work you're making. I put the title in, so it might be that I want to link it to a series. I'm going to say, I think this is in creative life. If I make it live, this make live button means that it filters the video to the ones I'm currently creating. I'm not going to do that yet. In description, I'll just start to write a couple of notes about what I think it might be. First little ideas of what I think this idea might be in the moment. I'm going to go back to the Better Creating dashboard, and you'll see here in videos to create, it will have popped up. There it is. So I might go, great, I now want to create that. I click the Make Live button. It goes up into the list, and there it is. You can see it's in live projects. It's classified as an idea, and the other ones are further along, and it's sitting ready to go. What I will do is give it a publishing date, the next date that it's going to happen. So I'm not necessarily saying I'm doing this, by the way. 22nd, there it is, it's in there, and I number it. And there it is, it's in the list, and I know it's going to get made. Another way of starting to select and edit is to start to link things from the bibliography of inspiration. So I might go back to the bibliography of inspiration. Let's go in there, and I might find something. The Fearless Creative, for example. I'm going to click on, and I'm going to add a page, and you'll see the link database, what constitutes meaningful work at the moment, put it in there. If we then go back, there you go, linked research. I'm starting to add creative research that links to it. So here you can see that's one that's filled out. I have then selected and edited within this system. I have a space to think up title ideas. For YouTube, titles and thumbnails are the thing that really bring people to the content, so it's really important to get that right. And also I use TubeBuddy, so I can do keyword research, and this gives me a score. So it allows me to kind of find the optimum title. I've got thumbnail ideas in here that I'll write up, and then I've got the description where I write up the description for the actual video. Then you'll see research notes. This is a place where I start to write, play, build things up. Once I've kind of got all the ideas together, I can start to use this template to start to kind of either script it or to kind of plan it out. If you want to know any more about this, absolutely comment below, let me know what of this is of interest to you. Number 3, articulate. Now, this is perhaps the most important one to get right. This is the point where we realise all of those ideas we've edited and selected together into a final product. So this is where my Notion system really does help me create these videos efficiently in a focused way. Let's take the metaphor of playwriting again for one moment. We have thought up all the ideas, created the characters, worked out what the events are, built the world. We've put it all into a structure, and often guided by kind of templates and ways we know storytelling can work. And then the articulation stage should be something where it's all in position and you can just write the dialogue. Well, that's certainly what the playwright I've been talking to about this process suggests. And I think it's great for a lot of projects. Think about that idea about how you can set everything up, do all that lovely work, select and edit, and then find a way to realise it and have freedom in doing so. So this system is helping me do that. Let's have a look at how it does it. If you look here, first of all, I've got some guides for when I'm actually completing the scripting. A story developer. Now this is coming straight out of my time in theatre and making work with actors. And this is really useful that I find to focus myself to realise the final result. So story developer, okay, let's say for this video that we're making right now, who is the character? It's usually me. What do they actually want? Oh, I want to be able to create work more easily and break down the way I make work to make it an easier process. Why can't they get what they want? I've either got too many ideas and kind of thoughts around something that I can't focus it, or I'm feeling completely creatively blocked and don't know where to begin and beat that blank page. What's at stake? Well, I want to have an easier life, better creative work, have more time around doing the creative work that I'm doing to really enjoy it. Who or what helps them? Notion, this system, and these ideas generate, select and articulate. Those solve my problem. How do I get what I want? I build this template and this dashboard in Notion. And finally, how am I transformed by the experience? I can make better videos, better content, and be more productive and stress-free in the process of doing it. Fantastic. Got structure guides. A 3-act guide is one that I often use. Most Netflix dramas you'll watch will have that kind of 3-act structure. Essentially, it's put a person up a tree, throw rocks at them, get them back down again. Yeah. So it's set up. The character wants something. Yeah. They make a decision, and then the character faces a conflict. They face obstacles and then overcome them. And then resolution, the character overcomes the crisis and finds a new way forward. Most of my videos follow that, so you'll see I've created in the template a setup with a hook and an intros, confrontation of problems. I put a thing in here where I just put little bullets for value offers, so it's like, what can the video actually offer? And that focuses me again to articulate it, go through that, and then resolution. So I kind of script within that. This template is also giving me this tools to be able to make it simply. You'll see I've got the resources to hand. In Notion, these little bookmarks, if you just paste in a link, it'll ask you normally whether you want to make it embedded or a bookmark. Embedded is great because it also means you get all the information. But these down here are just bookmarks. I've created a column on the right with things like thumbs up. This is great for checking thumbnails and royalty-free music, stock footage. This is all just so it's available to me as I work. But perhaps the most useful element of this template is that I've created an editing checklist. So you can see it here in this one. Let's just pop to a video that is yet to be made. In fact, we could look at the one that we're doing today. And you'll see the editing checklist down here has, essentially I break it down into stages to focus me. So I can just go A cut, make sure I've got all the footage from this camera into the rushes folders, and then I can just cut the shots together. Yeah, add some music and a color grade, and then look at it. Then I've got these pages here where I can kind of work through and do B-roll. So I can watch it and then list the description of ideas for secondary footage if the video has it, where it is, the exact point in that cut that I want to put it, and then I've got tick boxes within that database for gathered in the rushes and in the video. And again, I can just work through and use this as I make it. And then a second stage, and then a publishing thing. So just to make sure you hit all the points. Because it's in a template, every time I invent a video, it's already there, it's already set up. If you want to know more about this, you want to see more of this, let me know. It's something I could break down in a bit more detail. But also feel free here to pause the video on these pages so you can take a little bit of a closer look at the kind of processes that I'm using to create the videos. Wow, what a day. It's 11:30 at night. I started the original takes for this video this morning at 8. It's been one of those days. Sometimes that's what creativity is all about. You just got to put the work in. Just hang around a second, because what I'd really love to know from you guys is what of this system that I've shared you'd like to hear more about. Or maybe you spotted some things in there, like a couple of video ideas that you'd definitely like to see, or you'd like to know more about story structure or how to build those templates. Let me know in the comments below. One of the great things about doing this YouTube channel is this: we get to have a conversation and we get to have a dialogue and work out, you get to shape where this channel goes. And finally, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to stay connected. It's free. My videos will pop up in your feed. That's all it really is. But for me, I'll be eternally grateful because it will help this channel grow and help the content rise to the top of the list so more people see it. So thank you in advance for all your support. I hope that this has helped you generate, select, and articulate your projects in new ways, and it's going to give you some inspiration for your own creativity dashboards. It's getting really late. As I say, I've got to go to bed. I'm completely exhausted, and thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video, and whatever you're doing, get off your screen, go be creative, and have a lovely evening. I'll see you later.